Hello, my name is Lee Barette, and I'm the CEO and founder of CanadaFootballChat.com. You're about to listen to a special Recruiting Masters podcast. In the past weeks, events around the world have shone a light on racism. As this happened, we at CFC have taken action to examine what we can do better. We have begun by reading and listening to the experts on anti-racism. We've examined our current practices in an attempt to understand our own personal biases and to examine our company structures. Our staff have begun to educate themselves on biases they may have and anti-racism practices. The immediate conclusion we have made is that our hiring practices for our senior columnist positions need to be more focused and deliberate in order to maximize inclusion and diversity. We pledge to do a better job now and in the future. Racism is real, and the systems and structures we live in perpetuate this reality. We at CFC are working to be better and to continually gain knowledge to ensure we incorporate anti-racism practices into what we do on a daily basis. Please keep listening to the rest of this podcast to hear from two individuals and their experiences. The first discussion is with Ajay Chol, a current football player and youth leader, where he will speak from a first voice perspective. The second discussion is with the head of the CFC Scouting Bureau, Clint Uttley, who will speak to his perspective as a coach and an ally.
So welcome to episode 45. This is a special edition of the CanadaFootballChat.com Recruiting Masters podcast brought to you by the CFC Insider. Today we have a very special guest with us, CFC100 receiver Ajay Chol out of New Westminster High Axe from British Columbia. Welcome, Ajay. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Thank you for having me.
No problem. We're excited to do this podcast. I've got Clint Uttley alongside me, and we're going to be discussing just about your participation that you did recently in the Black Lives Matter rally. I believe, is that what they were calling it at the time, or was it a protest?
It was a protest.
Protest? Down in Vancouver, correct?
Down in Vancouver, Canada Place, yeah.
How was that?
It was beautiful, to see all those like diverse faces out there, helping out the Black Lives Matter movement. It was just beautiful. It was great to see.
Yeah, it was quite. I was quite impressed to see you up there. I know that I spoke with Clint about it, and both of us were really impressed that you had taken that initiative. Did they invite you, or you just? How did that all come
about? That came about. I was having a deep conversation with my friend a couple nights before that, and we were talking about what we could do to help the current events that are happening in the world. So what I came about, I was like, I'm gonna scavenge all over Instagram and see if there's anyone like trying to do anything like rallies, protests, marches, anything like that, so I could try to speak at one. So I met a guy named Jacob, and he was like, AJ, let's create a group and like let's make a protest. So he made the first protest. I couldn't go to that, unfortunately, but afterwards I was able to come to the second one, which I was in a group that helped organize it, and they were just like, you want to speak? And I was like, yeah, that would be beautiful, and I just went on.
Do you want to give us a little bit of an introduction of yourself and sort of your background, of who you are, and just so the listeners can get a bit more knowledge of who you are and why this was maybe so important to you?
Yeah, of course. I'm from Vancouver, British Columbia, born and raised. I've been playing football for like ever since I was like about 6 or 7. And this is really important to me because, equality is supposed to be in the world. Love is supposed to be in the world. I know it's quite impossible to have everyone like love you, but like to some extent, like it should be there, And I feel like the extermination of our people is just like truly disgusting, and the inequality is disgusting, and I just feel like Black people can do better. People of color can get right and be treated right. So that's why this is really important to me.
What are some strategies that you have used in response to racism that you may have experienced?
I I haven't really had like anything really, really big happen to me. Like I've had a few events where I was followed in stores or I was pushed aside just because of my race, but I just chose to ignore it because I'm a very peaceful, calm person. So like I was raised in a household that was like really peaceful and calm. So I always chose to ignore it, push it aside and just let it be.
Have you experienced racism playing football?
Actually, I haven't. I actually haven't, which is
That's
really good.
fantastic. Great to hear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if you think about it, BC's a really diverse city in Canada, and I really don't think I really experienced that at all in the BC Football League.
Well, and your team, correct me, Clint, if I'm wrong, is quite diverse, is it not?
Oh yeah, the New West varsity team, junior varsity, whatever. They're from all different backgrounds. They're from all different socioeconomic backgrounds. So I mean, yeah, and I mean one of the awesome things about sport or playing in a competitive team sport is that you actually you go through hardships with your brothers, and you don't really see racism. It's changed over the years. AJ wouldn't understand because I'm thinking back like 10 or 15 years where there was never just pure like bigoted like, but there's always been a sense of humor in a locker room. But I've never really seen things go too far to the one side or the other. So I've never witnessed it in my 5 years with the high acts and two or three of those with AJ. So it's a pretty and we embrace it. I don't think AJ, we don't run from it either. We actually make light of it sometimes, but we never make each other feel uncomfortable.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's kind of, I've never, you know what, in all my years of playing, coaching, going all the way back to 1995, I've never experienced like racism, like structured, organized, like inbred racism. I've never acknowledged that in my career. No, in my community, I've seen it. I've never done it. I mean, but yeah, I've never seen it for me, it's like even with the military background or with the football background, I don't see color. Like the only color I've ever seen in my life is the color of your uniform. So I don't know if that makes sense to everybody, but that's kind of how I am. And I'm more of an observant and listen type. I'm like AJ. I'm peaceful. I can get kind of fired up at times.
Mm-hmm.
We're not really the flight type ourselves because we're competitive. So we're willing to make a stand when we have to. But I've never experienced it. I would be really disappointed, and I would point blank remember the person or the group if that ever would come up or ever did come up, because in my brain, I mean, it's a terrible thing to label somebody or to stereotype them forever, but I remember that person being like that person who actually ruined that special thing that we call a locker room or a bond with your teammates.
Yeah.
AJ's been good at it though. AJ's been a good role model. So I mean, AJ's pretty grown up for his age. So he speaks well to all of his teammates.
I was going to ask AJ, have you had conversations with your teammates or maybe players from other teams within British Columbia that maybe they have a different story or experience than you?
I've had a few testimonies about what's been going on, and I've written them in my notes, trying to find places I could like spread the word and like help them spread their story out to different people.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
What are you going to do going forward now? I understand that you've committed to Queens next year, which congratulations, that's awesome.
Thank you.
How do you think you're going to use this experience maybe to enhance what you're going to do at Queens, or is this something that you want to continue to speak about and be involved in?
Oh yeah, of course. This is definitely something I want to pursue. I've really learned from this experience. It taught me how to like public speak in front of like thousands of people, and like just be able to express my feelings and what people are going through, and like to be their voice.
Mhm.
So what I want to do at Queens is I want to be the voice out there, so it could just spread all across the country, maybe across North America, and like so on and so forth.
Mhm. What would you say to your teammates who may be struggling with racism or their own experience that is not that is uncomfortable?
I
I know
definitely
I've put you on
feel.
the spot here, haven't I? That wasn't one of your questions.
Oh, it's all good. It's all good. That's definitely this is definitely an uncomfortable conversation that we have to have,
Yes.
and I'm sure they would have to find a way to put them on the spot and try to find a way to agree.
Mhm.
Um, Definitely, the only way we can fix it is with peace and love. I feel like if someone's being racist towards you, the best way to do it is to like find a common ground. And
Mhm.
if you can't find a common ground, just leave it, because there's no point in arguing back and forth, because that person truly has hate for you.
Mhm. Do you have any advice on how to be a better ally for ending racism?
Yeah, of course. If you can, uh, find every petition you can find, and donate or sign. It doesn't really matter. Either one helps.
Mhm.
Um, Listen and learn. Uh, you know, like do your research and try to educate others who are trying to who are struggling on how they can be an ally and help them out, because that's what we need in the world. Education is your best weapon,
Mhm.
and your mind is your best weapon. So everything you do, use your mind for it. So yeah, just learn, listen, spread the word, and that's how we'll fight this battle.
Well, it
And
definitely is an important time. I know there's been many important times in history that have been battling this exact same thing, and I really hope that this time it really does make a difference in having people like you and other, within the football community and everywhere, any human being can really tackle this and for once and just really make a difference.
yeah, I honestly feel like this really is the last time we're going to be protesting this, because we're coming really strong, and I feel like we're gaining some momentum and getting somewhere.
Yeah, well, we appreciate you coming on here today. Clint, did you have any other last thoughts or comments?
No, I'm just listening and learning. That's kind of where I'm at today with this.
Yeah. Thanks, AJ. Really appreciate your time and your insight. And I don't think congratulations is the word, but it was really impressive to see you standing up there in front of that huge crowd in downtown Vancouver.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
And good luck this upcoming season. We'll be watching.
All right, thank you so much.
All right. Take care.
All
Take
right,
care.
take care. Bye bye.
Bye.